In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to open and set up your own Etsy shop. And now I know there's plenty of these videos online already, but so many of them miss out essential information that you need to know to set your shop up for success for the long term. So in this video, not only am I going to give you a very simple step-by-step walkthrough to set up your own Etsy shop, I'm also going to give you essential tips along the way to actually allow you to set your shop up for success right from day one. And as an added bonus, I'm also going to walk you through exactly how to set up your very first Etsy shop listing. What's up guys, Alfie here. So I've personally owned my Etsy shop for 2 years now and I've grown it right from the ground up. So before we get into the fancy little face cam walkthrough of setting up your Etsy shop, this is some key information which you need to know about setting your shop up for success to A, make sure that your account doesn't ever get suspended, and to B, make sure that you're visible from day one and you're actually gonna have a profitable Etsy shop that is gonna make you plenty of sales in the long term. So firstly, I wanna make sure that you've actually started your Etsy shop with an idea that isn't too saturated and is actually gonna make you money. So I'd advise before you do anything to just do some quick product research, making sure that your keywords are actually viable and there's not too much competition. And for this, you can just use a very simple comparison software like eRank, for example. Second important thing to bear in mind before you start your Etsy shop is your photography. Make sure that you've got just a very basic photography setup so that you can take high quality images, because if you don't have good photography, your shop could be set up perfectly, but you're never going to get clicks on your products and there's pretty much going to be no point. So yeah, photography, very important. Number 3, quickly, logistics. You're going to get orders come in and you're going to want to make sure that you know how you're going to fulfill those orders. So you need to know how you're going to post it, what the postage is going to cost, what's your operating costs, how long is postage going to take. Make sure you've got all of that information handy because you'll need it for this setup guide. So yeah, that's just 3 little tips that I think are really important that you need to know before starting your Etsy shop. Bear them in mind. And now I'm going to go down to a fancy little face cam in the corner and we're going to open your Etsy shop and I'm going to give you all the steps that you need to walk through, and you can do it with me at the same time if you wish. Let's get into it. Okay, so now that we've got all of the prerequisites out of the way, now we can crack on with actually opening up your Etsy shop. So firstly on Etsy, you're either going to want to sign in if you've already got an Etsy account, or you're going to want to register for an Etsy account if you don't already have one. So I'm going to register here just to show you guys how it's done. So to register to make an Etsy account is really simple. You just want to type in your email address, your first name, and then just create a password. No, I don't want you to send me exclusive offers. If you do, tick that box, and then you just want to hit register. Okay, and Etsy are just welcoming me to Etsy. So now you can go ahead and hit your account in the top right hand corner, and you want to hit sell on Etsy. So reach millions of buyers in the UK and around the world. Get started, yes please. So now we're going to open our Etsy shop. So yeah, let's do this. So Etsy's going to start off by just presenting you with some really basic questions here about what brings you to Etsy. Now, these are just for information purposes, so your answers aren't going to affect your shop at all. And to be honest, you don't even need to answer them if you don't want to. So I'm personally just going to skip these questions. Of course, feel free to answer if you wish. Right. And now those questions are out of the way, now it's time for the fun part. So start your shop, yes please. All right, so you'll see at the top here, there's gonna be 6 main things you need to do to set your shop up. And we're gonna be starting off with shop preferences. So this is pretty straightforward, of course. Shop language, English, of course. Us English are very bad at languages, so yeah, I don't speak any other language. So yeah, English is definitely gonna be the way to go for me. Shop country, obviously United Kingdom, and I'll put my currency in there. Of course, you complete however you wish for your country. But one thing I will mention here, which is really, really important, on shop country, make sure you fill this out truthfully and make sure that you actually put in your shop country where your shop is located, okay? I've heard stories of some sellers that are maybe from India or China, for example, and they've put their shop country as USA because they want to hit the US market locally. However, Etsy are going to recognize this very early on and your account's just going to get suspended, okay? You don't want to do that. Just be truthful, answer all of these questions truthfully, and save and continue once you've done. Right, important now, shop name. Okay, so there's just a few bits of personal advice I want to give you guys when considering your shop name. Okay, so firstly, I guess pretty straightforward. Make sure it's something that's memorable, and also make sure it's something that people are not going to easily misspell, or they're going to, you know, like forget the name of pretty quickly. So I guess that's the first one that goes without saying. And then the second tip I'm going to give around your shop name is going to be, consider making it something that's more broad. And the reason for this is because I see so many sellers like pigeonholing themselves because of their shop name. For example, so say I'm going to load an item of chopsticks on my shop to sell, and then I name my shop Alfie's Chopstick Shop. Because of that shop name, that's always going to limit me to selling chopsticks. Okay, so anything else I sell, it's just going to look really out of place. So this is why I think a better name would be something like Alfie's Oriental Gift Shop, for example, or Alfie's Oriental Gifts, because this is then going to open you up to add in any sort of new Oriental product that you want to add in the future, and you're not going to be pigeonholed to just selling chopsticks, as an example. Okay, so I'm going to try here now, Alfie's Oriental Gifts. And crazily, that shop name's already taken. So that's fine. We'll have a look at some of the ones that Etsy generated here for us. So Alfie's Oriental Store, let's go with that one. So Alfie's Oriental Store, it's a nice broad shop name, easy to remember. Nobody's going to be misspelling that one. It says exactly what I'm going to sell, and it's nice and broad so I can add plenty of new products to it in the future. So save and continue once you've got your shop name. Right, now stock your shop, create your listing. So this is going to be a walkthrough now of creating your first listing for your shop. And I just want to stress here, we're only going to create one listing, and you're going to open your shop with just one listing, okay? So I don't want you to go trying to add 50, 60 listings in the first day, because it's going to be a lot better if you add one per day for 50 days, for example. And the reason for this is because Etsy loves busy sellers that are continuously improving their shops. So not only are Etsy going to favor you for this approach, but it's also going to make your life a lot easier in that you're not going to have to be pulling all-nighters, staying up, getting all of your listings on at one go, creating yourself a load of stress, because when you open a business, you've probably got enough stress as it is already, and you don't want that. You want a nice, steady listing plan, one listing a day, until you get to what I would recommend personally, a minimum of 50 listings in your shop. Now, photos. So your photos for your listing are going to be so important. I can't stress how important photography is on Etsy. And now I've done plenty of videos talking about how to create the perfect listing and how to get the perfect photography for your listing to make items that actually sell. So I'll leave a link to a video in the top right hand corner that I've done on this subject. But for now, I'm just going to add in my pictures. Right, so yeah, add them in. They're just loading up now. So yeah, you can see these are a lovely pair of wooden chopsticks, which I'm looking to sell in a linen gift bag. So now, primary image and thumbnail image. What you want to do is you want to just drag your favorite image, so your thumbnail image, to your primary image section. And then you'll see here that's moved it to the thumbnail option. So you can also go into adjust your thumbnail if you wish. So you could zoom in or zoom out for your thumbnail. And then just a few really quick tips I want to give you for your photography and your images. Listen to what Etsy tell you. So you can see here, they show you examples of exactly what sort of images you should be including. And I advise to listen to them. So you can see they've got images that show your size and scale, a styled scene, the different variations that you're going to sell of your products. So yeah, I really recommend listening to them and just trying to include as many images that you think the customer would want to see. So think of this from a customer's point of view. We always get in a mindset of thinking from sellers' point of views, but yeah, always think from a customer's point of view of what the customer is going to want to see in your images to buy the product. And then just one more thing I recommend with your photography, try and include at least one picture that includes your packaging. So especially if your packaging is really nice. Now, I read a stat that 80% of shoppers on Etsy are shopping for gifts. And we know when shopping for gifts, that packaging is very important. So this would make sense if you want to hit the 80% of people that are shopping for gifts, then it would be really logical to assume that they would want to see the packaging of the gift that they're buying to give to somebody. So yeah, that's just one last little tip on the photography section. Right then, moving on to video. Now, a video is so important to include if you can. I really recommend to include a video personally. They convert so much better than pictures. And I mean, we're the best example of this. I know myself personally, if I'm shopping online, I always want to see a video of the product. I just think you get so much more trust in the product from looking at a video than what you do from just pictures, because pictures can lie, but it's a lot harder for a video to lie. So yeah, Etsy likes videos as well. We know that they convert a lot better. So yeah, I definitely recommend adding in a video. Okay, so once your video's up, I'm gonna move on to your listing details. Now, I'm not gonna talk about SEO in this video because the video will just drag on for ages. However, it's very, very important. And I've done a whole video on this, talking about my ultimate Etsy SEO breakdown guide. And I'm gonna leave a link to that in the top right-hand corner. I really recommend, if you're serious about making sales and selling on Etsy, to check that video out after you've watched this video, okay? So it's gonna have all of my best SEO tips from all of the research I've done over my years of selling of Etsy. I know exactly what works now, know definitely what doesn't work. It's all in that video, and I just recommend to go check it out if you're serious about selling on Etsy. But for now, I'm simply just gonna fill in the title for you. And now I've pre-wrote my title, so I'm just gonna copy and paste it straight in here for you guys. Right, there you go, that's my title pasted in. Now, one really big tip I do wanna give you guys, and I suppose it is somewhat related to SEO, somewhat not. You'll see at the end here, I've got shop name in capitals. Now, of course, I'm not gonna leave it like that. I'm actually gonna put my shop name in, which off the top of my head, I can't actually remember what it was, but I'll go back and check that. But for now, I'm just gonna put Alfie's Oriental Gifts. Now, I know that's not the shop name, but pretend that that is the shop name because I'm an idiot and I forgot what the shop name is. But anyway, I recommend putting your shop name in the end of your listing title, because you'll probably notice yourself on Etsy, when you try and search for a specific shop in the Etsy search, if you press enter straight away, as most people do, it won't show up the shop. It will just show up listings. And now, if you don't have your shop name in the listing title, your listings won't even show up if somebody's literally searching for your shop. So the Etsy search just looks for keywords, okay? It doesn't actually search for your shop. So this is why I think it's important to put your shop name. As you start getting a bit more of an audience, if you get any return buyers, which if you keep watching my videos, you will get return buyers, then people are gonna wanna find your shop in the future. So yeah, I really recommend putting your shop name in. It makes it really easy for people when they're typing it in, trying to find your shop, to find all of your listings in the future. Now, moving on, about this listing. This is fairly self-explanatory, so who made it? I'm gonna put a member of my shop. Of course, if you make your listings, you say I did. Of course, what is it? A finished product. When did you make it? Made in the last 3 years, so 2020 to 2023. Of course, fill in however you would for your shop. Now, category. This is basically just the category that buyers are gonna use to find your products in. So I'm gonna put chopsticks, and then basically Etsy give you loads of suggestions. So I'm just gonna go with the top one here. So chopsticks in home and living, kitchen and dining, dining and serving, and yeah, chopsticks. So yeah, let's go ahead and choose that one. Material, this is optional. If you want to specify your materials because you think people will be searching specifically for certain materials, go ahead and tick what you want. I'm gonna leave that for now. Again, primary color. I think if you're selling something maybe like a scarf, for example, like a handmade scarf, then it's something that people are gonna wanna be searching specifically for colors for, I imagine. So if you've got a pink scarf, I'd say obviously put pink. But yeah, for example, my chopsticks, I don't think anybody would be searching for color. So I'm gonna leave that blank. Same again for secondary. Sustainability. Yeah, if you use sustainable materials for your products, amazing. I hope everybody does. A lot better for the environment if we do. Yeah, so you just want to tick the options for sustainability that your products have. And then moving down to the occasion option. So this is important. So this is only if your products are actually made specifically for an occasion. For example, if you're selling something that's made for a wedding, like a wedding card, of course you would select wedding. Same for a birthday card. For your products just normally, if they're not made specifically for an occasion, obviously leave this blank. Don't worry about filling it in. Now, renewal options. This one is important, okay? 99.999% of the time, you want it set to automatic. This is also recommended by Etsy. And the reason you want it set to automatic is because every 4 months or whenever your listing sells out, it's going to go to inactive, okay? Which means it's not going to show up on Etsy anymore. But even if you restock that listing and you've got this option set to manual, your listing will stay inactive and you would need to automatically renew it yourself. And I mean, it costs 20 cents each time to renew a listing. It'd be every 4 months or when the listing sells out. Every day of the week, every day of the year, I recommend you keep this on automatic. Now, type. Very self-explanatory. Are you selling a physical item or a digital item? My chopsticks are physical. Let's put that in. Now, product description. I am going to talk through this in a little bit of detail in this video, but again, I've talked about it in heavy detail in my ultimate SEO guide, which I linked in a video earlier. I do recommend checking that out to find your best product descriptions. So yeah, just for the sake of time, I've pre-wrote a product description that I'm just going to paste in now. So there's just a few things I want to quickly mention around your product description, and you're getting plenty of free advice here. So the first piece of advice I recommend is to not have a massive booming long product description. Try and keep it as concise as possible. I recommend using the first few sentences to really try and sell your product. So highlight the best features of the product and what you think makes a product so special. Then I recommend just adding a little bit about the long-term use of the product, so like the materials used, the story behind how it's built. You know, if you're selling it in some nice packaging, I recommend talking about the gift packaging that it's in. So yeah, just think about what the customer is going to want to know about the product and put it in this section. And then I also recommend putting stuff in there like dimensions or capacity, or you know, any of these really important things about the product that the customers are just going to want to know or ask you for anyway. I recommend putting as much information in the description as possible. So yeah, you can see here, dishwasher safe as well, I thought I'd put in. If you're selling clothes, are they machine washable, hand washable, etc. All of that sort of stuff, put in your product descriptions. Our production partners, so if you've worked with somebody to create a product, add them as a production partner. If it's your own shop and you're 100% doing everything on your own, no need to put production partner at all. So yeah, then you see here they've got the sections bit. This is basically just to help group your listings into different sections on your shop. So not on the wider Etsy platform, just local to your shop. Again, we're only starting off with one listing. We don't need to do this from the start. All right, moving on to tags. Now, your tags are very, very, very important, in my opinion, to get your products discovered on Etsy. So this is why, again, I've talked about tags in heavy detail in my ultimate SEO guide. Give that a quick watch if you want to, but I've already wrote my tags separately, so I'm just gonna paste them in now for an aid of time in this video. But yeah, just one quick little nugget of information around tags. Try not to use any one word tags. I know I've got one here which is Japanese, but yeah, try and use as many, we call them long tail keywords. So a long tail keyword is basically just a keyword that's made up of more than one word. So this is just going to help make your product stand out to a lot more specific customer searches. Okay, moving on to materials. Again, feel free to type here the materials, what your product's made out of. It's optional, you don't need to. But yeah, feel free to put in your materials if you wish. Right, and then moving on, inventory and pricing. Now, this again is another part which is very, very important to your listing. Make sure you price your products properly. So you don't want your products to be priced too high, because if they are, nobody will buy them and they'll always go with the cheaper competition. Secondly, make sure your products aren't priced too low. If your products are priced too low and they either cost too much to make or you're putting way too much time into making them and you're not getting the returns you need, then this is a terrible business model, in my opinion, and your business is just going to eventually peter out because your profit margins just aren't going to be there, and you're going to have to make a massive amount of sales to make the same profit you would as if you were selling a slightly higher price bracket product. So for me, I'm just going to put these chopsticks in at £9 English. Domestic and global pricing, I'm going to leave that for now. I don't think that information is really relevant to this video. I'll make a separate video on, I'll actually make a whole separate video talking about pricing and how to price your products properly. Maybe next week or in the next few weeks. But yeah, for now anyway, you don't need domestic and global pricing. Even if you are selling to different countries, this isn't something you need now. It's basically just a way to price your product differently for different countries that are looking to buy your product. Quantity, of course, put in the quantity of your product. Physical items, you should know how many you've got in stock. If you're selling digital products, again, you could put something like 999. The more the better. Just makes your life easier when they eventually sell out. So yeah, just for my chopsticks here, I'm going to put nice round 100. SKU. So SKU, if you don't know what that means, is stock keeping unit. So this is basically just an identifier for you to easily find your stock once you get like loads of items on your store. So think of it as kind of like a barcode identifier, for example. So yeah, your customers aren't going to see this. It's literally purely something for you to use for your own purposes to easily sort through your products. So an example SKU would be something like Alfie 001. Okay, moving on to variations then. So again, let's take the scarf example. If you were selling a scarf and you're selling maybe 10 different colors, here you can add a variation for each different color. So like you can have a pink scarf, a white scarf, a red scarf, etc. There's no variations to my chopsticks, so I'm going to leave this. But again, I'll click on it anyway just to show you guys. So add a variation. It's really simple. You just choose the variation type. So again, if you're selling scarves with different colors, you would choose primary color. And then here you get the option to add primary color options. So again, for each of these you click, it just show up as a different variation for your customers to buy. But of course, I'm going to cancel this. That was just to show you guys. Now, personalization. If you want to offer your customers an opportunity to personalize the items, then you just want to turn this to on. Now, my chopsticks aren't personalized, so I'm going to leave it to off. But yeah, if you're selling physical or digital items, to be fair, that you want to allow your customers to personalize, yeah, hit this to on, and then they can tell you what personalization they want in the items. Okay, moving on to delivery now. So again, a lot of this is pretty straightforward, but the key bits of information here, country of origin, don't lie, okay? Just don't lie. Where your products are being shipped from, make sure you put that truthfully in the country of origin. For example, if I'm selling my products out of China, and I know I'm selling my products out of China, do not put country of origin as the USA, okay? This is gonna get picked up and your shop's just gonna get shut down straight away from Etsy. It's not worth it, you will get found out. Stick truthfully, country of origin, like I know 99% of us will. So then origin postcode, I'm not gonna put my real postcode in here, but yeah, an example UK postcode would be something like that. Processing time. So this is how much time you need from the time it takes an order to be placed to when you're sending the order out in the post and you're getting tracking information to your customer. So a few bits of advice here. Don't make it too short that you're going to end up getting stressed and there's deadlines that you can't meet. Because also, if you say, for example, you put 1 day and it takes you 2 days to process and post an order out, all that's going to happen is Etsy's going to penalize you for this. So they know when you've got orders out because you need to manually complete the order. So it's always better to give yourself, I think in my opinion, a standard 1 to 3 days. I think this is a good timescale. If you can do it in 1 to 2 days, great. But I wouldn't recommend going over the 3 day mark. The reason why is because this is going to push out your overall delivery timescale by quite a lot, because it's going to pick up on the additional 5 days, and this is going to put a lot of customers off buying your products, in my opinion. So I'm going to go 1 to 3 days. I think it's a nice middle ground. Let's go with that. All right, moving on. So this is your standard delivery options. So again, this is pretty straightforward. If you're selling physical items, you just want to select the delivery method that you're going to use. Let's just go Royal Mail, and then what you'll charge free delivery. So I've given this tip in a lot of my other videos. If you can, I always recommend going with free delivery. So say for example, you're selling a product for $10 and you'd be charging $5 delivery. I always personally think you're better just upping your product price to $15 and charging free delivery, rather than selling it at $10 and then charging $5 for delivery. Customers love free delivery. And then also another massive reason why I would do this is because you'll know yourself on Etsy, when you're searching as a buyer, there's a tick box option that says free delivery. So this is something that customers can search for. And I know, because I do it myself, a lot of customers search for products that only have free delivery. So yeah, this is just something I would definitely recommend if you can do it. It's a little bit of a clever one. Yeah, free delivery if you can. And then if you sell to different countries, yeah, just mark what other countries you sell to. I'm just in the UK. Sorry if you're in America and you like some Japanese tableware, but yeah, just UK for now. So you can literally just hit delete on the everywhere else delivery option that it gives you. Delivery upgrades, so pretty self-explanatory. If you want to offer upgraded delivery, so like 24 hours, for example, expedited delivery, you just set it up here. It's just the exact same as we just did with standard delivery. It's pretty simple to do. I'll let you check that out if that's something you offer for your store. So you scroll down to preview postage price. So yeah, this is just going to give you a preview of what your product's going to look like on your listing. So postage price free, total price 9 Great British pounds. Looks good to me. So then last bit of to create a listing, returns and exchanges. So this is where you need to put a policy onto your products in your shop. Now, I recommend 99% of the time, you'll want to just go with the standard Etsy policy. So I think unless you've got very, very special reason to not go with this policy, I recommend just going with the standard Etsy policy. So we're going to hit just apply simple policy. And of course, read it in detail, check it out for yourself. If there's anything you disagree with, you can change the policy in your own time whenever. So now that's all done, I'm going to hit save and continue. All right, great job on getting your first listing up. And you can see they've blown it up here, so you've lost a little bit of quality, but that's not going to happen when your listing's actually listed on Etsy. Don't worry, it's just because they've made it massive. Unless you've got bad quality images, but I know my images are good quality, so it won't look like that when it's actually on the shop. So then it gives you the option to add more listings, but like I said, we're just going to add 1 listing a day. We're not going to stress ourselves. So I'm going to hit do this later. Right, then moving on to the how you'll get paid section. First thing I want you to know, right at the top here, your account is unconfirmed. So Etsy are going to send an email to your email address. Make sure that you go into that and you confirm your account. So Etsy won't let you progress until your account is confirmed. So I'm going to quickly go ahead and do that off air, and then I'll come back and meet you guys once I've confirmed my account. Okay, so account confirmed, and now I'm just going to move down to the getting paid on Etsy section. So all of this information that you'll see here is going to be very personal. So I'm not going to fill this in with you guys live on air, but I'm going to fill it in my own time. It's fairly self-explanatory. Just a few things I want to point out, which is really important. Where is your bank located? Like I said previously in this video, be truthful, don't lie. If there's any mismatches in your addresses, or where your bank's located, or where your business is set up, if any of those don't match, Etsy will notice this. And I've heard stories of sellers finally taking months of building their Etsy shop up, finally to make their first sale, and then as soon as they make a sale, Etsy suspends their account flat out. This is because they've got mismatches in their addresses and their bank and their billing information. Fill it out truthfully. Again, make sure it's all spot on. And once I've done this, I don't personally want you guys to see it, so I'm gonna hit save and continue. So yeah, I'll see you on the next page. Okay, so I'm back. So I filled out the how you'll get paid section. I've literally just pressed save and continue, and now we're gonna get to the set up your billing section. So this is gonna be the exact same. Same information as what I said before. I'm just gonna fill this in personally now. Make sure that everything matches, really important. And again, I'm just gonna hit save and continue once this is done, and then I'll see you on the next section again. Okay, so I've set up the billing now, put all my card details in, and the last option is gonna be to set up your shop security. So this is basically just standard two-factor authentication. Choose an option to get started, text message, phone, authenticator app. I'm just gonna use quick text message. I think a lot of us know how this works, so I won't talk about it too much. Yeah, I'm just gonna put my phone number in here. So yeah, then basically Etsy's just gonna send a text to your phone number. So I'm just gonna put my phone number in here, enter the verification code that it sent me, then I'm gonna hit continue. And yeah, I'm not gonna show you guys my phone number because as much as I love you, I don't want to get bombarded with messages. But yeah, then we'll just hit continue when it's done, and I'll see you on the next section. So yeah, then once you've authenticated your device, Etsy just gonna give you some codes to help you log in the future. If you ever forget your information, copy these if you wish. I'm just gonna leave them for now. And then you've got the magic, the best part, all the hard work, open your shop. Let's hit it. No, I don't wanna receive tips. If you wish, you can do this. Or best option, just subscribe to my YouTube channel. You'll get the best tips anywhere online, I promise you that. Continue to your shop, let's go. Okay, Etsy's just doing this thing now, setting your shop up, continue, we're open for business, Alfie's Oriental Store, let's go. Okay, so there you have it, that's your Etsy shop set up. So yeah, I really hope you guys have found it useful, and of course, if you have any questions at all, or if there's any bits that I've gone over too fast that you didn't quite understand, feel free to just chuck your questions in the comments. I replied all of my comments, I'll make sure I'll reply to you. But yeah, that's how to set up your Etsy shop. Hopefully you followed along okay. And yeah, I don't think there's anything left to say, but absolute best of luck with your Etsy journey. Yeah, keep watching my videos. Every view and subscribe is appreciated. So yeah, I love all of you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.